I'll try not to catch your face again this time.
I don't think you caught it last time, did you?
Yeah, I did, yeah. Yeah. I made you jump.
Oh. Got my caffeine fix.
Oh, I do like good coffee.
I've got my half litre water there to drink half an hour before
Half an hour before it.
Yeah, I can't have knocked to eat after 11:30. No fizzy drinks, no coffee, no milk, anything like that.
So go on then, tell us what's going on today.
Got my scan to Scarborough Hospital.
So this is the session scan,
This is the second CT scan. Well, it's the third one actually, because when they made me mask,
yeah.
After they'd made me mask, they give me a CT scan.
Right, okay.
And but today I think it's more. I forget what it is. Is it thorax and a couple of other things. It's on the letter anyway. And it doesn't take long. Just up to Scarborough Hospital, and you go up to where the cabin is. And I go to the cabin, press the button and wait till they call me. And you get laid out on the thing, and it only takes a few minutes.
Yeah. Jeanette actually yesterday, because you've been experiencing that pain in your groin and your calf, Jeanette was trying to get the scan extended so it wasn't just your thorax. She rang him up, but she couldn't. Can't remember exactly what she said, but she couldn't get through to anybody to change anything.
No. We'll see what he says on Tuesday.
Well, to be honest with you, Dad, while you're there today, I mean, Jeanette might do it anyway, but it might be worthwhile mentioning and asking the question if you can have.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? If
yeah.
You know, whether they think more should be done, you know, whether they think they should.
Yeah, but if you can just do as he says, you just don't know, do you?
Yeah, we don't know what they're doing. So how have you been feeling anyway? Well, obviously, as I say,
myself, I'm feeling all right.
But you've got
I can feel my face all the time.
Yeah.
That along bottom of my jaw, and sometimes I'm sitting there, it seems to start tingling. And I've been having a little. Well, I've also had a bit of soreness in the corner of my left eye.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of irritation up on my left temple. But then my sides, where I had that lump on my left hand side, it seems to be shrinking, but I keep getting little stabs of pain from it.
Yeah.
And then the lump on my right arm, right forearm, that seems to make my arm ache a bit, and I don't know what it's thing to do where I've had that busted knuckle.
Right.
If it's working to do with the arthritis is there, or it's come from there. So I don't know. I can't make a proper fist with my right hand. I haven't been able to for a long time.
Good job you're not punching anyone.
Oh, I know I'd be the one that gets hurt. And then of course I start with this pain in my groin. I'm alright while I'm sitting, but once I stand up to walk, I've got to be very careful.
Oh, it's a bit weird, though, isn't it? Because that's your groin. That's where you've got some lymph glands.
Yeah. Well, it might be them that's working, I don't know, because there's no lump or anything. I can't feel a lump. But I'd be lost without my walking stick now at the moment.
Yeah.
Without my third leg.
I know you've not been able to walk as far either, have you? Like
No,
to the beach and so
nowhere
on.
near. No. But as you saw this morning, it was only more or less round the block.
Yeah.
And I was ready for home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were quite, especially, I mean, there's a gentle rise, isn't there? But that's how they kind of took it out of you.
Yeah. Yeah, so not in a very good place at the moment. But
do you feel that the radiotherapy did you some good?
Well, it's done some good, because I mean it's still working. It works for 6 to 8 weeks afterwards you've had it.
Yeah.
It's working on my face.
Yeah.
Because it has shrunk this to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And you can see it's working inside. You can see where the scab is, how it's changing in there.
It's definitely changing shape, isn't it?
Yeah. And
so of course the other big change is, and I know you were quite deflated about this, is the fact that you're not having immunotherapy after.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well last time I went to see the doctors, it was his registrar. And apparently it might have been me misunderstood, but I'm sure he said instead of causing you any more unnecessary problems, I'll give you immunotherapy instead of chemo.
Yeah.
But it must have been meant if I had It's in my lungs.
Yes, I think that was the.
And I think that must have been, it must have been me or me misunderstanding. Because when I went to the clinic last time and saw I was having chemotherapy, it did knock me back a bit.
Yeah.
But
Right.
anyway,
I'm going to be in this area, so just be aware.
Yeah. It's alright above there, above my fingers. Not my back's sick, but I resign myself to the fact now that that's what's going to happen, so.
Well, like I said at the time, as I say, I know it was. I'm just going to go and cut in there. Right, I won't be doing that bit until I use the edges now.
Yeah. We've had any whiskers wrong there now, the radiotherapy's killed a lot off.
Yeah, yeah. No, as I said at the time, when you were feeling all that deflation about the lack of immunotherapy, it's you're getting the right treatment for the cancer you've got.
Yeah.
Because what it turns out is Dr. Roy thought there might be lung tissue in there. That might be lung based. So he did a re-examination of the biopsy.
Yeah. And
then obviously it's come back that it's more gastric, and immunotherapy isn't developed enough yet as a treatment to cover that. That was, that's the basic gist of it, isn't it? That's what it.
It is, yeah.
That's kind of what it's looks like. You've got a right little kind of curl there, haven't you, across your forehead?
You got a little what?
Like a curl across your forehead.
Oh, the way it goes, yeah.
Yeah, sweep.
Yeah. Oh, that's the way it goes. Cookie crumbles.
So yeah, scan today, Sunday today, I can't remember the dates.
And then Tuesday I'm at Castlin.
Is it 29th?
It's
the 30th today.
30th today.
30th
and on Tuesday the 1st I'm at Castlin.
Yeah. I know, bloody Tuesdays, always on a Tuesday.
That was when their clinics are, yeah.
Yeah, throws my work.
It's a nuisance, isn't it? I know, it's a bloody nuisance. I hope you don't lose any bloody customers through it.
Well, it's not likely, but it just means I'm messing them with the same ones about all the time.
I know, let's hope they're quite understanding.
They're lovely. I'm very fortunate.
You can tell them I'm apologising profusely for them, because I don't. But I wish I could alter it, but I can't.
Rob sends his regards, by the way. I spoke to
Oh,
him
did he?
yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He says, tell him I'm thinking about him. He's having a few little rough rides at the moment.
Is he?
Yeah, he's got some hernias around his stoma and so on, and his small intestine. So
you took him camping last weekend, didn't you? Or didn't you?
We went last weekend. Yeah.
There was the 4 of you, weren't there?
Yeah, there was, and then another couple turned up.
Yeah.
What do you think the outcome of this scan's going to be today?
Well,
realistically speaking, based on how you feel,
I think they're going to find out exactly where it is.
Well,
what parts of my body's affected.
Right. Oh, do you think
and
how clearer?
How much it's affected, as to what the treatment's going to consist of.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's going to boil down to. Because the letter.
Let's not do that now, because I don't want to disturb this sheet at the minute. But I mean, my concern is that they're going to find that, and I'm guessing this is the same for you too. You're just not saying it. Is they're going to find that the cancer's spread or got worse off of that?
No, I won't be surprised if it has.
Yeah, because it's.
I've accepted it. I'm thinking the worst all the time.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I don't think the worst, because I keep getting pain inside. But this little lump, it keeps stabbing me, but it's shrunk a lot.
Yeah.
I've been getting pain in this side, but there's been no lump or anything.
And it did surprise me that they only give you one blast of radiotherapy on that in your arm.
I mean, yeah, he said it would do it.
Yeah. I was a bit
surprised. But of course, they give you the blast, and like they say, it lasts for a few weeks after you've had it.
Yeah.
It's still working.
Right, I'm going in on the sensitive side. I'm going to do this bit round your ear here first, okay? So, sorry if it makes you flinch. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing I've been kind of mulling over, is are they going to find out it's kind of spread more and further?
Just expecting the worst all the time. And then I'm looking daggers at them saying, well, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
All you can do is try and be positive all the time and you get your setbacks. But
yeah.
like I said, when Jeanette was here, I went to bed feeling down after that last clinic. And when I come down next month, I says, it's alright, I'm alright, I'm on bloody fire now. I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
And that's... I know I'm gonna feel ill.
Yeah.
But
And Dad, in all honesty, given your age, right? One of my customers, a lovely young lady called Michelle, I think I've told you a bit about her. She had breast cancer. She went through radiotherapy and chemotherapy, and during the I talked to her a lot about the chemotherapy. She said, if they're doing the once in the 3 week one, they're giving you the strong dose.
Yeah.
Right, because if they do it weekly, it's a weaker dose so that your body can handle it. Right.
Yeah.
So if the once in the 3 week one is the one that takes a bit more to recover from. So she's giving you the strong stuff, giving you the stronger one, stronger attack on it. But she didn't even kind of go through the full chemotherapy treatment because it affected her too badly. You know,
Yeah.
so that might end up being the same with you. It might be that she was okay after the first 1 or 2. I think 1, 2 or 3, she was kind of all right. She was just thrown a little bit. But then, you know, as she got further into it, it was you know, more and more disruptive, shall we say.
Yeah.
So, and she, as I said, they didn't even finish the chemotherapy treatment with her, and it did insufficient with her to leave her all right.
And she's all right now, is she?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. But it's just, and that might happen to you. So you might have some bloody rough time.
Oh, expecting some.
But they might turn around and say, well, actually, maybe now is not the time to continue with this.
Yeah. I'm just expecting some rough times, and as I say, I'm expecting the worst all the time.
Yeah.
And after that, I can't be
overly disappointed, can you?
No.
Bend your head forward.
No.
If any of the hairdressers that live above me are watching this, I'm not a hairdresser.
Just helping your poor old dad out.
Yeah. Somewhere along those lines.
Are you camping next weekend if the weather lets it?
I contemplated it because I was actually initially thinking of going with Nat to test this stove out before in the tent before we do the Scotland thing next
Oh
year.
yeah.
However, she can't make it. She's cancelled actually. Initially I thought to myself, I'm not going to do anything next week because I haven't had a weekend at home for so long.
Yeah.
And then this, you know, and then I said, oh, shall we go? And she said, yeah. And then she actually turned around and said she can't make it. So I'm back to thinking weekend at home.
Oh yeah.
And I might even pop down and see Paul in the Ruck because I haven't seen him for God knows how
Yeah,
long.
because you're here this weekend instead of next weekend, aren't you? Because you would have been here next weekend.
Well, I think what we'll do is we'll scruff that kind of schedule that we
Yeah, play it as it comes.
and just play it as it comes.
Yeah.
And as I say, I'll keep coming once a fortnight. And unless anything changes, you know, we need to change things a bit.
Yeah, just play it as it comes.
But
That's
yeah,
all you can do.
the first thing of the month, I think we'll.
Well, it's a bit too tight if you get a chance to do something nice and the weather or something. You may as well be coming here when it's bad weather.
Well, there is that as well, yeah.
Yeah.
And I've got, do you know, it's funny, I've got so many friends at the moment saying, who are more outdoorsy, saying, do you want to go away and do this camping? Do you want to go do this hike or whatever? And I was messaging my mate Darren last night, who's a copper actually, and he's been having an operation on his hand, so he's been a bit. I went kayaking with him earlier. I don't know. Oh yeah, I haven't posted it yet. But I've done a video of us two on the Selby Canal, and he's on about sort of going for a bit of a walk, and he's just bought a hammock and so on. So he was sending me pictures of his setup last night.
That's nice. You've got some friends who are like-minded.
Yes. It's surprising how many have come out of the woodwork, really. And, you know, it's not like out of our kind of more, our mum's side, cousin's side, like Keith Marshall, apparently he's done stuff like that before and said he hasn't done it for a while.
Well, Alan Baker, he builds his own canoes.
Yeah.
Alan at Strensel. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind doing one of those. That'd be nice.
Well, you want to ring him up and have a word with him.
I think that'll do, Pops.
That's all right, yeah.
It's tidied it up.
It's just tidied it up a bit.
Yeah.
I know it's looking a bit thin on top now.
Well, yeah, there is a little bit less, but, you know, you're 80...
83.
Yeah.
84 soon.
84 soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think... I don't think that's too bad.
In about 7 weeks, 84.
84.
Poor old bastard.
You keep swearing on these things.
Oh, sorry.
So I'll beep it out. Right, okay, that'll do then.
You've done around my ears and everything, have you? Good?
Yeah.
That's it, is it?
Yeah, I've shortened it. It's relatively short at the back because I've used them just to kind of keep it.
Yeah, that's all right, yeah, that's all right. That's lovely, thank you.
driving back from having been to see Mum and Dad, and I've taken Dad for another scan today. It's Sunday, round about I think the 1st of September is the Tuesday, 31st, Sunday the 30th it is today, and yeah, he got called in to go for another scan. He's had a blood test at the back end of last week, I think it was, and then he's got a visit with a meeting with the oncologist again on Tuesday. Now, we were under the impression that his next meeting with anybody from the hospital would be the nurses and with the idea, I think the idea then would be to put a chemotherapy treatment plan in place. So we're not sure why that has changed, and that he's now seeing the oncologist or, you know, the registrar on Tuesday instead of the nurses. We're not sure what's going on really. I guess it's all going to depend on the outcome of this scan. Now, the thing is his health appears to have taken a bit of a downward spiral. He's now got pain in his groin, his right groin area, the inguinal area, and he's also saying that he's got, there's a visible lump actually on the side of his left calf. And when he had the scan, he asked them to make sure that those things were taken into account, which they said the scan covers everything. It was a CT CAT scan again. Excuse me. So as I say, yeah, Tuesday we get to find out what this is. I'm thinking the worst. I'm thinking, you know, I've just been discussing this with Jeanette. When he went to the hospital the first time with the lump on his face, he then suddenly turned around and said, but I've also got this one on my body and this one on my arm. And Jeanette and I were kind of like a bit, where the hell did they come from? Because we didn't know anything about those. And there was a sudden, those appeared, to all intents and purposes, quite suddenly. And now there seems to have been another one of these kind of sudden changes with this pain in his groin and the thing in his calf. And it's a bit of a surprise really, because yes, he was broken after the radiotherapy, and this is 4 weeks ago that finished. He was knackered after that, but it didn't take him long, 2 or 3 days, and he was on his way back to being his old self. And then he's had 2 or 3 weeks of kind of been his old self, and then all of a sudden, bang, there's been this, what appears to be a downward spiral, but a downward, you know, dip in his health. And yeah, kind of anticipating the worst on that one. On the plus side, he has now said that I can post these videos on Facebook, and he's more comfortable with that. There were reasons why he didn't want that to happen. Well, he had some things that he didn't want to happen, and if I posted them on Facebook, it would have made them happen. So, but he's now become okay with that. I'm not going to go into detail about that on here, but that is the case. And me personally, I'm still kind of in the same, my head feels full and busy, and my sleep pattern's still shot. I'm still struggling with I just don't feel as creative. I have occasional creative urges, but I just don't feel as continuously creative as I did sort of like before all this started. And that's nothing, you know, compared to, I know we all experience our own situation, but what my sister's going through is even more tumultuous, because of the COVID thing, her whole workload has just collapsed. She was self-employed, and the people that she was doing the bulk of the work for, they've gone into administration, and so everything that she was doing has collapsed. And whilst it's been fortuitous that she's been able to spend time with Mum and Dad, it's just not fortuitous it's climactic, not climactic, it's devastating in terms of what's actually happening to her in her life, and so she's having to reevaluate, and she's not getting the headspace to be able to do that. She's got a few health issues too, and they're really not helping the matter either. Mint Imperials. I'm rotting my teeth while I drive. So yeah, she's in a crappy place. Last week she was able to spend the week with her husband Mark, my bro, and they were able to go away and spend days away. They weren't able to get a holiday book per se, because it was very much last minute, and so I'm glad they've been able to do that. And I've said "and" a lot in this one. I think the other thing I'm struggling to get my head around is that I haven't felt emotional about the situation with my dad for quite some time. I have occasional emotional twinges, but I feel as though kind of like all the emotional impact of this hit me right at the beginning, which if you've seen the other videos you'll know what I mean. And yeah, I feel as though that kind of happened then, and that my brain has now moved into the more practical day-to-day situation, dealing with the situation, whilst at the same time keeping myself busy so that I don't dwell too much, perhaps. I don't know. I don't feel bad, right? This might sound strange. I don't feel bad about the fact that I don't feel bad, if that makes any sense. So I don't feel bad about the fact that I don't feel over emotional about this. I don't feel guilty about that or anything, because you feel what you feel as the processing happens in your head and in your heart, and as that comes to fruition, and when things are ready to come out, they'll come out. So I don't feel bad about the fact that I don't feel emotional about it. I just feel as though I ought to be, but I'm okay with the fact that I don't, because, as I say, the brain does what it does when it's ready to do it. It's no reflection on me and how I feel about my dad at all, and I have no qualms about that, because that just simply isn't the case. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of put those thoughts and stuff into film format while I was driving. I thought I'd make use of the time, and as always, if you want to keep abreast of this journey, please subscribe to the channel. We are trying to raise money. We are trying to use my dad's situation to help raise money for Macmillan. So there is a link in the description for this. If you could put a few quid in the pot, that would be fabulous. Thank you very much. And thank you for all the warm messages of support that I've received so far. It's been really touching. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. And if there's anything you want to talk about, for anything that you're going through yourself, I'm happy to listen. You never know, we might be able to help each other. So you take care, and I'll keep you updated.